Hey everybody, it is Wednesday afternoon about 1 o'clock Central Time, and I just wanted to follow up with yesterday's video to give you the answer to the question yesterday, and then of course to pose today's question for you. The question yesterday was about obstruction. Here's a play. The runner is coming in from third base, he's barreling down on the catcher, and the throw is coming in from the outfield. Two scenarios. One, there's a collision with the catcher who is trying to field the ball is not to him yet. Or two, there's a collision with the catcher who has the ball in his hands. What is the rule, and why is there a difference between the pro rule and the high school rule? The answer is yes, there is a big difference between the two. And in the first scenario, with the ball coming to the catcher but not quite there, in pro rules, the catcher is not obstructing home plate. Now, some of you would say, wait a minute, isn't there a new Major League rule about offering a pass to the runner? Yeah, there is, and I could go on for an hour about that rule, the good, the bad, the ugly, about that rule. But under regular professional rules that are played outside of the major leagues, the standard OBR, or official baseball rules book, that's not in there. That's a league-specific rule for Major League Baseball. But the pro rules elsewhere are that as long as the catcher is in the act of fielding the ball, and it's entirely up to the judgment of the umpire, if the catcher is in the act of fielding the ball, he may block the plate. And if there's a collision, it is not obstruction. Now, the umpire has total judgment on that and total rule to decide whether he thinks that was obstruction or not, whether the catcher was in the act of fielding the ball. If he deems that he was not, he calls obstruction and awards home plate. If he deems that the catcher was in the act of fielding the ball, then it's simply a collision, and you let the play out, and if the catcher happens to tag him before he gets home plate, he's out. If not, and he touches home plate first, he's safe. High school, completely different, as you might have expected. I kind of led you into that one. In high school, it is very clear. The catcher or any other fielder attempting to make a tag on a play, on a runner, must have the ball in his possession in order to block the plate or another base. It is not the same as the pro rule by any means. So, scenario number two, where the catcher has the ball in his hands and then is blocking the plate at the time of the collision, it is totally legal in high school ball to block the plate as long as you have the ball. If the ball is not in the catcher's possession, he cannot block the plate, and it would be obstruction under every circumstance, and the runner is awarded home plate. Now, I mentioned yesterday there's also a malicious contact aspect of this, which is not part of the Major League rule or pro rule, but is very much a part of high school. And there is a malicious contact element here. If the umpire deems that the collision is a malicious contact, meaning that the runner basically tried to take the catcher out of the play without really making an attempt to score, and there's certain criteria that the umpire looks for to decide that, then instead of it being obstruction on the catcher with or without the ball, it doesn't matter in this case, the malicious contact supersedes obstruction. That's actually the way it's worded in the rule book. Malicious contact supersedes obstruction, and the runner is out and ejected from the game. So it's grounds for an ejection. But again, to our scenario, it wasn't malicious contact, just a regular contact between the catcher and the runner. It would be obstruction without the ball in high school, would not be under the pro rules. Today's question for you is kind of a trick question, but it's true-false. If a batter is hit by a pitch, he is always awarded first base. True or false? Again, if the batter is hit by a pitch, he is always awarded first base. True or false? If you think you know the answer, post it below. And of course, please like this page, like this video, and then pass it along or share it with all your friends and neighbors. I will then come back tomorrow and give you the answer. Oh, and by the way, all you umpires out there, it's not fair if you answer the question. You know the answers, but it's okay for good discussion. Thanks. See you tomorrow.